My sister posted a photo. Family vacation adults only. With my kids visible through the window, left home alone. She got 847 likes. I commented, "Beautiful BTW who's paying the $8 200 resort bill." 5 minutes later, her husband was screaming at the front desk, "What do you mean? Payment was declined." The manager said, "The cardholder just canceled authorization. They were 4,000 miles from home when..." My sister's photo popped up while I was rinsing sunscreen off the kids' snorkel masks in the sink. Family vacation adults only, she'd captioned it. Tag after tag, a line of clinking glass emojis. They were at the rooftop bar, all 6 of them. My sister, her husband, my parents. Our brother and his wife grinning under the string lights with those skinny frosted glasses in hand. Behind them, in the dark pane of the rooftop door, my kids were reflected. You could see their little noses pressed to the glass, and the polished black mirror of it. The resort suite window, behind the railing catching them like a picture frame. My daughter's ponytail was lopsided. My son had my sweatshirt on. 40 minutes before they'd been fed microwave mac and cheese because the kids' buffet was closed and will just be a couple hours. The likes were flying. 847 when I refreshed. So deserved. Finally you time. No kids' night. Someone had commented, "Haha, where'd you stash the gremlins?" And my sister had replied with a winking face. My throat went tight. I wiped my hands on a dish towel and could feel my fingers shaking. I could picture exactly where they'd stood to get that reflection, the north end of the rooftop by the daybed cabana that says, "Adults only," on a tasteful bronze plaque. I knew because I had paid for that plaque to be seen by my family for 7 nights. I swiped back to my camera roll to make sure I wasn't imagining it, zoomed in on the glass. My kids' faces were right there, ghosted into the background like they weren't part of the caption, like they were scenery. My husband Eli came in with a carry-out box of fries. "They back?" he asked. "Apparently," I said. The word slid out of a throat suddenly too small. He followed my gaze to my phone. He didn't have to. I typed a comment I knew would light the fuse, then sat down on the edge of the suite's too shiny couch. Beautiful. BTW, who's paying the $8 200 resort bill? I put the phone face down. I could feel my pulse in my gum line. I didn't raise my voice. I didn't go upstairs to the bar. I just sat there with my kids' damp snorkels, on the granite, and the ocean doing its slow, indifferent breathing beyond the balcony. I'm 39. I live in Portland, Oregon. I run a small bookkeeping firm out of a converted garage mostly for independent electricians and a landscaping company with 20 trucks. Numbers are my calm place. Boxes, reconciliations, confirmations. Years of looking at ledgers taught me what matches and what doesn't. That has not translated well to family. I married young divorced at 30, remarried at 35. Eli is quiet and steady and fixes bikes on weekends. I have 2 kids. Maya is 11, a rule follower who tucks in her own tags if they stick out. Danny is 8, adopted at 2, a kid who apologizes if a chair squeaks because he thinks it upset someone. We are the ones who bring extra chargers to barbecues and collect everyone's sunglasses and remember refills. We are the ones people hand empty plates to because you're up anyway. With my family, I grew into the role of the wallet without even noticing. It started with, "Can you put the deposit on your card? Ours doesn't work overseas." Then it was Mom's tooth fell out, and the dentist wants it paid same day. Then it was the twins' tuition deadline is midnight. There was always a clock, always a reason why I, with my good credit and unflustered voice, should be the one to fix it. I paid my parents' property taxes last November when my dad's pension check got messed up. $11, 341.16. I Venmo'd my sister weekly for a while when her husband was between jobs. $250 every Friday, like a second phone bill. I couldn't turn it off. I covered the hotel block at my brother's wedding because the planner only wanted 1 point of contact and everyone promised to pay me back by end of month. I'm still waiting on $1.900 of that. When Maya drew a family tree at Thanksgiving and taped it to my parents' refrigerator, my mom rearranged it to make it more symmetrical, which meant pushing Danny's branch to a corner under a magnet that said, "Dogs welcome. People tolerated." I fixed it later, quietly. I told myself she didn't mean it. At Christmas last year, my parents bought stackable dinosaurs for my sister's boys, an iPad for my brother's teenager, and a sweater 2 sizes too small for Maya with the tag still on. "Just see if it fits someone," my mom said. "And a puzzle for both of yours." Both of yours, like mine were a 2-for-1. We left early with a slice of ham and foil and silence in the car. I paid for Disneyland the summer Danny turned 7 because I wanted a week without sourness. 4 rooms park hoppers for 10 people, a private character breakfast because I knew my mom would love to post it. I watched my sister hand her kids the gift bags I'd put together and tell them, "Say thank you to Auntie ATM." She laughed. Everyone laughed. I laughed too because if I didn't laugh, it would be a thing and we were here to have fun. When I stopped the Friday transfers in March, I told them it would be for 8 weeks. It became 6 months. The tone shifted. Little looks. "We didn't realize you were in trouble," my mom said, like I'd lost my job. I wasn't in trouble. I had a business to run taxes, to pay my own kids' school lunches, to load money onto. Then came the big idea. Our parents' 40th anniversary, a blowout family vacation. "It'll be so special," my sister said on our group chat. "You're the planner, Elysia," my brother added. I booked a resort 4,000 miles away, where the water looked fake in photos. 3 ocean view suites adjoining, with a kitchen, so my mom could pretend we were doing it economically by making breakfast. I put my American Express on the master reservation for convenience. I told everyone we'd settle up the shared costs at the end line by line. Of course, they said, "We'll pay you back." I believed them because I wanted to. The little slights started in the room assignments. My sister's boys got the bedroom with twin beds and the big window because they need their own space. My brother and his wife got the king room with the attached bath. My parents took the second king because we're old. My kids were handed the pull-out sofa in the living room with a view of the hallway and the noise from the ice machine. "We can make a fort," Maya whispered to Danny like she was soothing me. They made cousin day schedules that didn't include mine. They booked the snorkeling excursion while I took my 2 to the little fish pond by the lobby because our thing is too advanced for littles. They registered their kids for the Resort Kids Club on Wednesday and told me it was full by the time we asked for mine, even though we were at breakfast together when the sign-up sheet came around. It was a dozen paper cuts that week. It was every year of "We'll make it up to you" condensed into a tan line. On the night of the rooftop, I had planned a quiet evening. Eli and I would take the kids to the night market the concierge told us about. Mangoes on sticks, someone playing a steel drum. My sister pitched the adults-only idea at lunch. "We need one night. We're on vacation." Her boys were signed up for the kids' club movie night. My brother's teenager wanted to game in his room. That left mine. "Just bring them." My mom said to me like my kids could sit on bar stools and sip seltzer while everyone did cocktails. The plaque said no one under 12. Danny is 8, Maya is 11. Or just order pizza and let them watch a movie in the suite, my sister added. "They're responsible." "I can't leave them alone," I said. "It's not legal." I felt ridiculous saying it. We were on a resort with guards and white polos at the gates, but responsible wasn't the same as safe. "We'll only be upstairs," my sister said, pointing at the ceiling. "Literally, right there." Eli squeezed my knee under the table. "We can skip the market," he said. I didn't want him to keep skipping. He'd been skipping for years so I could smooth things. "We said we'd take them," I said. "They've been talking about it." When it became clear I wasn't coming to clink glasses and take photos, they pivoted. "We hired the sitter for our 2. My sister dropped in casual. She couldn't take yours too. She's booked for another family at 8. Her kids would be tucked and supervised. Mine would be not. "I can watch my own kids," I said, not even sure if I was answering her or talking to myself. They left around 7:30 in a cloud of perfume and aftershave. I made boxed mac and cheese in the microwave and cut mango like tiny suns. We spread a towel on the couch because the cushions were that pale resort color that stains if you breathe on it. We queued up a Pixar movie. Danny drew a treasure map on the back of the resort map with a borrowed pen. At 8:15, Maya went to the balcony to try to see the fireworks by the marina. I told her not to lean halfway over the railing. At 8:30, my phone buzzed. The photo, adults only, the likes. I stared until my eyes hurt. I could make out my kids' reflections in the glass door behind them. It wasn't even subtle. It was like a joke told into a mirror. I waited 10 minutes, 15. The kids started their second episode because the movie had ended. Eli sat on the floor with Danny's markers tracing the treasure map. I picked up my phone and opened the Amex app. I found the pending authorization from the resort, the one I'd pre-approved for $10,000 to cover incidentals, and the spa because my mom likes treatments. My thumb hovered over the toggle that said Manage Pre-Authorized Holds. I could hear my dad's voice in my head from last winter. "Would you not let your own mother get her teeth pulled? We'll pay you back." He didn't say thank you. He rarely did. Thank yous are receipts. I swiped off the pre-authorization and then called the number on the back of the card because I know how hotels work and I know how people like my family think they work. When the rep picked up, I gave her the property code and my confirmation number. I need to remove my card as the guaranteed payment for additional rooms on this reservation, I said. Yes, I'll keep it on my room. No, I do not authorize charges for any other folios. She asked me for a reason. Card security, I said, because that gets typed in a little box and no one argues with it. She put me on a brief hold. Something loosened in my chest when she came back with done. I hung up and called the front desk. I know that's redundant, but I like redundancy. Please split the incidentals by room, I said. Send revised folio emails. Guests will present their own cards. Of course, Miss Lawson, the clerk said. I'll note it. I sat for a minute looking at the carpet like it could tell me if I'd just blown up my family or saved my kids. Then I went to Instagram and left my comment under my sister's picture. It was half a joke, like everything we did to keep anything from becoming real. Beautiful. By the way, who's paying the $8.200 resort bill? Eli read it and looked at me. You sure, he asked. I'm sure, I said. I wasn't shaking anymore. It took 5 minutes, maybe less. There was a knock and a voice through the door, front desk a little too loud. I opened it an inch on the chain. A young guy with a tablet stood there like a peace offering. Ma'am, we're having an issue with the card on file for the other rooms. Yes, I said. I'm the card holder. The authorizations for other rooms are revoked. Please ask the primary guest on each room to present their own method of payment. He looked at his tablet, nodded, and went away. 10 minutes after that, above us, a chair scraped hard. Footsteps thudded. A man's voice my brother-in-law carried across the atrium like it was designed to echo. What do you mean payment was declined? He called toward the bar, toward the front desk, toward the night. The manager's voice followed, patient and unimpressed. The cardholder just canceled authorization, sir. Eli handed me a fry like it was a medal. My heart was calm, my hands steady. My kids didn't look up. Maya was leaning on Danny's shoulder, whispering X marks the spot. Phones don't stop buzzing when you take a stand. They get louder. The family group chat, once full of sunset pics, and look at Dad trying guava lit up. My sister, are you kidding me? My brother, this is insane. Mom, call me now. Dad, what have you done? Then my sister again. We are 4,000 miles from home. I sent one message. Your kids had a sitter. Mine were alone. I'm not funding a night that left my kids like coat racks. They didn't come down right away. They tried to fix it upstairs first in that entitled bubble where the manager brings extra bottled water because you look like someone who posts reviews. I could hear the low, angry hum above me, the sound of a family argument pretending the hallway was real. Then came a knock. I knew my mother's rhythm. 2 soft, 3 hard. I opened the door. She swept in without waiting. Dad behind her, and my sister with my brother-in-law right beside them. What is wrong with you, my mother said. All of you left my kids alone, I said. You called it adults only like they were furniture. My sister crossed her arms. We were upstairs. We could see the door. Through a camera, through a baby monitor, or through a reflection in your Instagram post. Her expression flickered guilt, trying to get ahead of itself. You didn't have to embarrass us publicly. You posted publicly, I said. My brother-in-law held his hand out like a collections agent. Just put the card back. We'll settle at home. No, I said. You can pay tonight for what you drank tonight, and you can pay when you check out for what you charged. My card is not the family tap. Dad stepped forward. You put this on your card, he said. It's unseemly to yank it like this. Unseemly was my kids alone with dried mac on their plates while you hashtagged freedom. I will not pay for a family I'm not allowed to be part of. Mom tightened her mouth. Alicia, she said, using my full name like a spell. You're overreacting. This could ruin the trip. The trip was already ruined for me, I said. That happened when you looked at my children and saw an inconvenience. Eli stood up and moved next to me. He didn't need a speech. The space he took said everything. They didn't want a hallway scene, so they left in a gust of anger and expensive lotion. Later, I heard they spent an hour at the front desk trying to split charges and call banks. Their cards worked. They always did. It was never about not having money. It was about who they believed was supposed to smooth everything over. The rest of the trip turned polite and cold. Quiet breakfasts, outings suddenly labeled optional, photos taken without tagging me. My brother texted you good at midnight, then didn't answer when I said yes, you. We flew home on separate flights. Back in Portland, the real chorus started. Dad asked to have a word on the porch when they dropped off a scarf I'd left. You embarrassed your mother, he said. We're your parents. I'm your daughter, I said, and those are my kids. My sister sent a screen recording of her bank app like proof. We had to put the resort on our card. The fees. Do you even get it? I do, I wrote back. I've been paying those fees for 5 years. Mom emailed. Subject disappointed. 2 sentences. Family means sacrifice. If you wanted to discuss boundaries, it could have waited until we were home. I replied. My boundary is that I won't fund anything that excludes my kids. That boundary is already in effect. Then the triangulation. Your brother feels caught in the middle, Mom said. Your sister thinks Eli is controlling you. Eli laughed when I told him. I'll make less noise next time, he said deadpan, then softer. You did right. I didn't go no contact. I didn't torch the group chat. I made pancakes on Sunday and let the kids scorch the edges because they like them that way. We started saying no to anything that made my kids feel like props. In August, we hosted our own small dinner. Cousin Leela came, the one who DM'd me. Saw the post. Gross, proud of you. Mrs. Kim brought sesame noodles. I set 2 extra chairs at the end of the table out of habit and left them there. Nobody asked, nobody apologized. We ate anyway. Maya made place cards in bubble letters. 1 at my plate. Mom, 1 on the empty chair. Nana, no seashell on that one. Danny's card went in the middle with a treasure map drawn around it. X marked the spot. Later, I found Danny's resort brochure treasure map stuffed in his backpack. The path went couch TV window, with 2 little circles by the window. Our kids' faces reflected back at them. The X was on a square labeled us. I taped it to the fridge. It took the spot where my mom once smoothed Maya's family tree into symmetry. When Mom texted about the holidays, I answered, We'll be at home. You're welcome if you can be kind. She sent a thumbs up, then we'll see. We did not see. On Thanksgiving, Leela showed up with a pie. Her kids had written, We love Maya and Danny on the foil. We FaceTimed Eli's parents. We kept the 2 extra chairs at the end of the table. The empty space didn't sting. It felt like truth. That night, Danny asked, Are we in trouble? I said, No, we're safe. Maya left a note under my pillow. You're a good mom. That's the only receipt I keep now. I didn't burn a bridge. I put up a toll booth. The price is simple. Include my kids or pay your own bill. The core takeaway is simple and powerful. Love for your family does not mean you must endlessly endure everything and pay for everyone. Elysia shows that healthy boundaries are not revenge, but responsibility for your own family, for your children's safety, and for your own resources. When relatives repeatedly devalue your kids and treat you like a walking wallet, the right step isn't to get back at them, but to stop financing that injustice. A real family isn't the ones who go on adults-only trips on your dime. It's the ones who see your children as full members of the